Dude, unless I'm forgetting something, and I could be, it's been a long time since we've talked about the pump action combat shotgun here in TMP. Try about 5 years. That's a while. That's when I posted my combat shotgun shootout series covering the Remington 870, the Winchester 1300, and these guns, Mossberg 590, Mossberg 500. Now, I could reference you to that video series and say, hey, if you want more information, go watch it, but I know you won't. So with that, and coupled with the fact that, and I really don't understand this, but it is the way it is, I can make a video on a very popular gun over and over again, and it will get views. That's what I said about my Glock views. I was like, hey man, do you really want me to do a Glock 19 video? Guys were like, yeah, do it. And I was like, I got 17, I got 2021, I did it. Sure enough, they eat it up, they like it. So I think we're gonna do that with this video. I mean, I could make this a 10-minute video. It's not rocket science. It's pump action shotguns with different stocks. Ones I've pretty much reviewed already, circa, I think it was 2009. Just talk about the Magpul stocks. Done, complete, a clean 10 minutes, probably less. My guys won't like that. They'll hate it, so I got to make it self-contained. That being said, I may reference back to the original series because so important to me in your weapon systems, for a lot of reasons, which I'm going to hit again in this video, is the tactical pump action shotgun. I'll reference that series, and I'll put some more self-contained information here. Guys seem to like it that way. The standalone video, as opposed to me going, hey, you know, 5-minute video, go watch the other one. They won't. Now, let me ask you this. If I intro this video with the following phrase, with the voice inflection as the following, what would you think? Auto shotguns, and I'm talking like a tactical semi-automatic shotgun, like an FNSLP. What if I said, auto shotguns are cool? Okay, that would infer that I'm really, really on board. And by the way, I am. What if I introed with this? Auto shotguns are cool, but... Now what do you think? There's more to the story, Nutton. You are correct. And that's kind of where we're going to go with this. Because I really think auto shotguns, the right ones, are amazing. They are combat ready. They're go-to-war ready. The stuff I said in those reviews, the FNSLP would be a great experience of that whole philosophy where we discuss that. I talk about in the videos. There's great discussion in the comments. I love it. It's part of our weapons loadout. I'm specifically talking a tactical autoloader, one I trust. Go-to-war ready. The FNSLP. And there's others. I mean, Remington's come a long ways on theirs. The Benellis, if you load them right, i.e. with a heavy enough load, they're awesome. The Berettas are excellent. I have some other autoloaders I've never even talked about. For instance, did you know I have a Remington TAC 2 just waiting for a review since 09? There's a little secret for you. They're great guns. I don't have Segas. I think the Sega's good, but every time we take a Sega out, it jams. You got to tune the gas, you got to tune this. That's because this happened, the mag didn't do it. I'm like, okay, I get it, but still, it went down.
Oh, there you go. Didn't let it go forward.
And that leads us to the pump action tactical shotgun, combat shotgun. There are so many advantages that it was such an important weapon system. It was one of the first reviews I did in TMP. I'm talking feature length. You won't watch that series, but take it from me. I put a lot of work in that series. That's how important it is. The advantages are huge, not just of a pump action. I mean, any good tactical shotgun, number one, will have a lot of knockdown power. I mean, a 12 gauge, 3-inch Magnum, full on double aught buck, number 4 buck follow up, maybe even in room distances, you know, bird shot, devastating. You talk about knockdown power, you talk about a very complex gun to defend against, and I'm talking with body armor, shotgun, dude. And I'm talking when they're loaded with pellets. Throw some slugs in there, huge, tremendous knockdown power. It goes through car doors, goes through glass. You have specialty rounds.
Where are those going?
And I guess we're just kind of jumping into POU right now. The specialty rounds are amazing. You have non-lethal options. And since it's pump action, not gas operated, it will actually run them. Firepower. Decent. It's not awesome. I mean, it's 8+1 in these guns I got on the table. That's pretty standard. And by way of reference, I might as well intro these. And we're going to come back to the benefits of the tactical pump action shotgun. Trust me. These are put out by a distributor called RSR. And these are what are being made available to your gun dealer that you can order. And they're probably my favorite Mossbergs to date. The ones that I was lucky enough to loan for review are models number, this is going to be let me make sure I'm pointing right, MS50669. That's a Mossberg 590 Magpul special purpose pump shotgun. That's a mouthful. This one is the MS50598. That's a Model 500 tactical pump shotgun with bead sight, as you can see, ghost ring sights. The reason I bring these up now is because they also make some models with less magazine capacity. You've got, and maybe where you live, your jurisdiction, they will be more appropriate to where you live. Anytime I see an abbreviated magazine and the barrel goes beyond it, like this one, this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. I'm not digging it. I've said that before. I mean, it's already down on rounds. 8+1 is not a lot. Well, that's why we like the Segas, Nutton. I get it. But there are disadvantages with the Sega system, i.e. you leave plastic shells loaded in those high capacity so-called magazines. You know, 50 round drum, whatever, 25 round drum, they deform, and next thing you know, you got a jam over time. So there's disadvantages to every system, let's be honest. No system is perfect and just go, oh, this is so good. 8+1 firepower wise, decent. Not any different than like the FNSLP or a good auto-loading shotgun. Not saying that. But here's another thing I love about the pump action shotgun. And this is almost urban legend at this point, isn't it? Intimidation factor. You see it in movies. You see guys talking about it. You know, the racking of a pump action shotgun. The reason I think that's just a little bit hokey, not the sound. I think the sound, yes, if you hear that, yes, you're going to pee your pants if you're a bad guy in a home you shouldn't be in. But I think it's a little hokey because I have a Winchester 1300 in my closet, little secret for you, loaded with double-aught buckshot, number 4 buckshot, and it's loaded. I'm talking in the chamber. I don't keep it like in the magazine, so, hey man, I'm going to keep the chamber empty so when the bad guy comes, he can have the opportunity of hearing me do this. That's why it's hokey. Dude, your gun should be loaded already. It's kind of like when you're watching a movie and the guy has a semi-automatic pistol, and he's just to the point where he's going to get shot, and then he racks around in the chamber. Hokey. Why do they do that? Because it's more dramatic. It's action. Any gun guy would go, you're telling me you went in that situation, you didn't have a round in the chamber, you were not condition 1? Idiot. Yeah, it is intimidating. I mean, beyond this, freaking huge 12-gauge muzzle. I mean, this, and I've said this before, but I want to hit it again. We're talking philosophy of use. This is a great riot gun. Imagine that the gun industry got it right back in the 70s. When they first came out with this style of gun, the Ithaca 37s, they called them riot guns. That's what they're pretty much used for. Police officers dealing with crowd control. Maybe they're shooting non-lethal. Maybe they think it's going to really go south. They need buckshot. Somehow that name stuck. It's kind of, from what I've seen, fallen out of favor, but I still think it's appropriate. If I'm a shop owner somewhere, and as we've seen, rule of law is lost, and they come to my shop, this type of gun is going to be in the mix with my guys.
Real simple shotgun. And it works.
We will have shotguns on the roof. I guarantee it. And along with probably some M4 stuff. Maybe some AK stuff. Good mix. A good mix. I got all the ranges covered. You want to come close range? Roger that. We're ready. You want to go mid-range? Okay, good for that. Long range really isn't an option. And I'm just talking. This is really not anchored to reality. But shop owners do defend their shops and their lives with these guns. That's what I think it is. I think it's a great shot protection gun. They are intimidating. Racking in the slide, we talked about that. Muzzle, sure. Another reason I came out with that series years ago is the value of these guns. I mean, I hope I wrote it down. Let's see, this one, the value, I didn't write the actual cost down. I should have. I'm going to say like four-ish around there for these upgraded Magpul equipped shotguns. Maybe less, and you can get into a number of awesome tactical pump action shotguns that are amazing for even less. The value is astounding. You get into a semi-automatic, you know, tactical shotgun, yeah, it's a lot more. 1,000 plus. For the known names, you know, you can go some overseas makers, less. Mossberg makes that one. What is it, the 930? From what I know, awesome gun. Really popular in 3-gun. I think it's even been improved. Another plus of the pump action shotgun. Tactical variety, and by the way, we say tactical because it's pretty much meant for what we're talking about. Serious defensive purposes. War fighting. We call it tactical these days, riot gun, it's all the same. But the thing is, it's simple. You like your Segas? Great. Needs a magazine. Needs to be tuned for the load. Needs to be tested with a load. Probably shouldn't leave the magazines loaded. Well, I leave my mags loaded all the time, never have a problem. Well, we've done it too on this end, and we've had lots of problems with that. With all types of shot shells. That's not simple. FNSOP, the Remington 1100 series, 1187s, they're great guns, but they have a gas system. Gas systems can fail. There's parts there. There's some tuning that may or may not have to be done. There's pistons that may or may not have to be put in, like the SLP. Totally doable. They're built great, but it's not as simple as this. A pump action tactical shotgun. Easy to learn how to operate. Maybe not so easy to master. If you don't believe me, take your buddy out with your pump action shotgun, doesn't matter which one it is, buckshot, not birdshot, and go shoot.
Stop.
And see how he or she does without training. That's a shotgun, point it in the general direction. No, it doesn't work that way.
Right. Actually, go a little closer.
It doesn't.
Sorry.
No pistons, no mags, pump action shotguns rule. These are my favorites in this lineup. My favorites. They are worth it. You know, when I reviewed, and I have it right here, this gun, it's still in our family, by the way. I'm going to jump right into ergonomics, I guess, because that's where the crux of this lies, right? Here's the 590A1. This is the one I used in the combat shotgun shootout series. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, I like it. Okay, and the one thing I told you about in that video that had to be changed is the stock was too long. Now, when this gun is ran in TMP, it's ran in a testing protocol, it's ran in a drill, you know, and I'm wearing either body armor or LBE, and it was just too long. So what I did is I put it on the table saw, I showed you a picture of that, I cut the stock down, remounted the stock rubber butt pad, and now it's gold. Length of pull for me, wearing that stuff is perfect. I'm 6'3", by the way. I like this furniture, still do. It's simple, it's basic, it works. It's been around forever. The wood versions came before the polymer versions, this 590A1. I like polymer furniture. I've always said that. I like this stuff better. The Magpul. First off, let's start with the buttstock. Why don't we? Put this bad boy off in the background. As you can see, this is LOP adjustable in a big way. I'm talking very adjustable. This is the Magpul SGA stock, and I always love with you guys, when I first saw it, I wasn't too impressed because I'd been handling, I think it's their PRS stock for the AR-15, and it's heavy. And I was looking at this and it looked heavy too. I'm pleased to tell you that with these stocks, I'm talking with all the spacers put in, as you see now, that's how we ran it. The fore end, same weight as a stock one. For instance, that one in the background, 7 pounds, 7 ounces. The bead equipped, and I'm talking the sight, 500 is 7 pounds 3 ounces. This one's 7 pounds 7, so it's exactly the same. I'm surprised. I thought it would add weight. I was wrong. It doesn't add any weight, and yet you get better ergonomics. It looks cooler, by the way. That's a cool looking stock. Visually, you might say, well, that's a really deep pistol grip, man, deeper than the stock one, and I thought that too. It's about the same. So if we hold it against there, the angle's about the same. I love traditional stocks on a pump action shotgun. Here's why. They recoil. I mean, I tested that Knox recoil reduction stock. At the time, the version I tested, didn't like it. Said as much. Didn't like it at all. It like flipped it up into your face, battered your cheek. You want to be really snuggled up to a high recoiling firearm, whether it's a shotgun, whatever, 50 cal. You need to be in it to win it. But be in it and really snuggle up to it, and a normal stock for me, a conventional stock we'll call it, does it for me. The Magpul has an added advantage, again, is you'll adjust that length of pull to whatever you need. You're a female shooter, small statured shooter, there it is. I mean, just add or subtract. I think they're 1/2-inch spacers, and with a really excellent pad, recoil pad on the back. I didn't tape it with electrical tape like I recommend you do. Easy enough to do though. You have a side mount sling capability there on both sides. I wouldn't use that on a pump shotgun. And you have this, interchangeable cheek pieces, and they're right here. So if you want to run an optic, a red dot, maybe you're using it for whatever, slug hunting, a Brennicky, you know, throwing it down range, and you have that optic on it, raise it up. Good stippling right here, and very MOE-ish Magpul. Magpul does such good work, dude. Such good work. Love that company. There's the fore-end, okay, and let's compare it against a standard 500 tactical or 590 fore-end. It's good. Kind of a corn cob, slender. That's what I really like about this. It's not that big. It's trim. It provides medium level of traction. It does not have, however, provide any way to attach accessories at all. This does. So those grooves in there, my understanding, which is always imperfect, you can attach some tactical rails under there. And there you go. I would say this is also medium traction. In our running, and you're watching the video now, you probably watched it before I kicked off the video, my hand was slipping a little bit. You could probably stand to put some skateboard tape under here, maybe between these ribs, or that really awesome fake suede is called A-grip. You covered the whole slide with that, or the, you know, the forearm. Perfect. But these two work great. They don't add weight, and they've improved the ergonomics on what I think is really a quintessential combat pump action shotgun. One of my favorites. And the question will always, it's funny, I'll put all this time and effort and testing, and I'll bring it to tabletop, tell you my opinions, and sometimes the items that I review really just kind of rise to the same level. For instance, if I'm talking Mossberg versus Remington, here comes a Remington Tactical Express, or Express Tactical, whatever it's called. Great gun. This is a steel receiver one. Same mag capacity. This one has bead sights with a pick rail on it. That's cool. Love it. Standard stock. I've taped this recoil pad. Which one's better, Nutton? They're both awesome. I could be very happy with either one. I think one time I said the 500 maybe not quite as smooth as the Remingtons. Definitely the Winchester 1300s, which are very slick, very fast. I think I'm less critical of the 500, 590s action, especially in this last round of testing, which honestly was just an excuse to go out and shoot some pump action shotguns again. Had a ton of buckshot, and that's pretty much all we ran through this. Buckshot. And you're watching the video. Just bam, 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 bam. PFI dude myself. They're smooth. There is something that happened I'm going to tell you about, so stay tuned. How about, and by the way, once upon a time I used to cover all this. Design, materials, quality, ergonomics. Now I just call it features, materials, and ergos. Whoa, there's a good trivia question. So if you follow my Twitter account, if you don't, you should. I just may ask you that question. What video did I combine all these together? It's this video. And maybe you'll win a prize. If I get around to it, no promises. They're built well. I am less enamored, I'm talking about the Mossberg 500, 590 series. I am less enamored with this one than I used to be. And I don't remember if I said this or not in my original review. The 590A1, which is the military version, with the thicker barrel, due to the Navy's requirement of they didn't want to bend it going through, I guess, doors and stuff on the ship. I don't need a barrel that thick. It just adds weight. Not a lot of weight, a little bit of weight. Okay, and it's got the aluminum trigger guard, which some of you guys will be totally stoked on. I don't care. These have got polymer trigger guards. Whoop-de-doo. I don't care at all, dude. They work. I've never had a polymer trigger guard break yet on me, and they're lightweight. We were living in the 2000s, not 1979 anymore. These are made well though. If I had my choice between, this is really tough, between these two guns. These are the RSR distributor equipped Magpul variety guns. Which one would you go, and I'm talking sighting systems here, and actually overall design. Let's go sighting system first. As you can see, this has the peep sight on it, ghost ring sights. This one has simple shotgun bead. Now, longtime TMPers, if you remember, what have I always said about a shotgun bead? If you said it works, you are correct. It works. If you are a skilled tactical shotgun operator, you've practiced, you kind of know what you're doing, you can connect with this easily out to 25 yards. With slugs, if you got good stability, good trigger press, 50 yards. I know because I've done it. Bead sights are fine. They're not fancy, they work. I really like the presentation of a good set of ghost rings, more and more. You know, the high back wing, like I've said, do I really like that? It's a little bit obtrusive. It's okay, and that's an awfully big peep that they put on the 590. By way of reference, let's look at that 870 one. This one I prefer better. It almost reminds me of the tech sights. It's like a shotgun equipped with tech sights right here, dude. However, it is not adjustable as that 590 you're looking at. This one is adjustable for windage, for elevation, easily. Right there. It's got a beautiful fluorescent orange front ramp sight. Which, imagine this is put on correctly. I've seen 500s, and actually not 500s, but 590s where the front sight is brazed on crooked. Not good. This one's put on right. I didn't notice any, you know, cocky wompness on it at all. I like these sights. They're excellent. I would prefer them if I'm shooting slugs. Yeah, I can hit with that. This one's a little bit better. I'm digging it. What I was getting to is which one would you prefer, Nutnfancy? I may surprise you in what I say. I kind of like the 500 better.
Front sights,
This one. What? It's slightly lighter. I don't think it's any less durable. It has a completely different magazine tube attachment. The barrels are more easily interchanged on a 500 Mossy versus a 590. We talked about this. They're both easy enough. They're simple to take down. If you want to know, go back to my original video, I guess. You know, they have a 1-pin disassembly for the trigger unit. Easy. Takes a little bit of doing. For me, it takes a little bit of practice. See how everything works, shell lifter, the arrangement, and pull it all out. It's like, oh, okay, I get this. Do it over and over again, then you get good at it, just like any field strip process. But between the two guns, I'd probably go with the 500. It costs less. It's already drilled and tapped for an optics rail if you want to throw a red dot on it. There's all types of rails you can put on there, right? Do it. I still love this one as well. The sights are cool. The stock system is the same, but look at what comes with this one. It already has a sling mount on it. And this is my preferred sling location, a single point. No, it's not the most stable, but to me, it's just when you're doing something temporarily with your hands, when you're running a tactical shotgun. It's not like you're going to be running a 500-yard dash with it. Well, you might, but simple. Remember I said I like simplicity? That's simple. Not simple is having, you know, the Enrique style of sling. Who's Enrique? Come on, man. Terminator 2? He had a Mossberg 590, dude. I think it was an A1. So he had a sling on there. I like simple. Notice on this Mossberg 590 A1, I added a Midwest Industry single point sling on it, which gets to the concept. These guns are one-stop shopping. As they come out of the box, you can run them. You don't have to add anything to them. You don't have to put the stock on a table saw again. You don't have to add a sling plate if you don't want to. Notice the 590, this version, doesn't come with one. They are Parkerized, dual action bars, the famous Mossberg single locking lug that mates into the top of the receiver there, which is aluminum. Tang safety, which I love the Tang safety. Action release is right here. Your bird finger will release that if you're right-handed, probably left-handed too. It is set up for a righty, so this gun, as you know. You know, pretty much the same location as the 870 right up there. The only, what I was thinking of is the Winchester 1300. Every gun's a little bit different and you'll transition one to the other. It's made right, and it's made in America. Cool. The ergonomics are slightly improved, and I guess that will take us to reliability. Oh, I'm laughing because I did not see this coming in the testing phase at all. At all. And if you guys subscribe to the B channel, which is called the Nutnfancy Project, number one, you should subscribe to this. Support the workload. Thank you very much. Subscribe to the B channel, the Nutnfancy Project. You would have seen me shooting this gun, and you would already know what's going on with it. And I'm talking the actual gun I'm holding right now. So we're running it. It's going great. We're running high base buckshot. Lo and behold, I'm shooting it, and it clicked. Nothing happens. I think it's me. In fact, I owned it. If you look at that video on the B channel, I'm like, yeah, I screwed up. I'm a dork. And I've been known to do that. Everyone has. I mean, we all make mistakes. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't know what it is. Let me try it again. I click. Light primer strikes. This gun. A 590. I know. It's not an A1, but same gun. Just slight differences as we've discussed. I was shocked. So it's BFI. We're sitting there. Well, is it going in? He thought it was like a safety problem. It wasn't. Why is it? I don't know. You know, I could have spent time. I don't have time for that.
I'll try it again.
If these are my guns, I just ship it back to Mossberg. I go, hey dude, light primer strikes. Please fix. They will.
Huh.
But it goes to show you once again, here on the Nutnfancy Project, if it can break, I'll break it. Not intentionally. I'm not doing it on purpose, but crap happens, dude. We were shocked. I was like, I can't believe this. Let's try different loads. So we tried different shotgun shells. Same thing, light primer strikes. Not igniting the cartridge. That's the important thing. I don't know. I can't figure it out. How many rounds we shuck through it? Not a ton. 200, which for me, buckshot, that's a lot. I knew I was black and blue at the end of that day, and that's with both full power and reduced recoil loads, both buckshot and slugs. I was shocked, dude. 500 ran without incident. No jams, no short strokes, no light primer strikes. Went great. Now the 590A1 we ran in 09, whatever year it was 100%. I mean, I think someone short stroked it or something, but that was operator error. We discussed that. So, durability, I think it's going to be military great. That means excellent, but crap can happen. The really kind of alarming thing is with a new gun, you don't want it to happen. Especially that here comes that word again, combat, tactical, defend your life. But before you slam on Mossberg, be more mature about it. Every gun it happens to. We've had that discussion. Every single gun. There hasn't been a gun I brought to the table, I'm talking brand-wise, that didn't have something or another in the lineup. Here's, by the way, slug accuracy. This is like sighting in. So this is, and you're seeing the video somewhere at 30 yards. I think I'm just kneeling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Second grouping was 1, 2, 3, 4. So it opened up. This is a flyer for sight-in purposes. About average. But I didn't really go out of my way to better it. I mean, I say, hey man, I need to shoot that and really get some good accuracy. I already know how these guns shoot. They are not screw and chokes. They are a cylinder bore. Both of these, the whole series actually, the tactical series offered by RSR through your dealer, recommended dealer at the top, by the way, if you can't find it. Magpul equipped editions, cylinder bore here. Do you prefer a screw and choke system? Absolutely. Always have said that. Yeah, and the Express Tactical has that, right? It does stick out, looks a little bit goofy, but it just gives me some more options. You know, if I want to open up the load, I'll go cylinder. If I want to close it up, maybe modified. If perhaps I'm pressing this gun into a hunting philosophy of use, turkey hunting, plugged magazine tube, I'll go full, maybe extra full. Running a red dot sight, maybe an optic, a scope I'm talking, 2 power, 3 power. You need max accuracy with turkey hunting. That's just, it is what it is. Accuracy, and I didn't pattern them. I'm going to roll in a photo of that 590. Use that, because we patterned the heck out of that thing. It's decent. Every gun's an individual. Go run your double-aught buck, your number 4 buck through it, and just see where it shoots. I really don't like doing it nowadays because it destroys my target stance, which I still to this day, I know, hand construct in the shop. I shoot the shotguns couple pellets straight. Next thing I know, it's sliced in half. I got an hour, 2-hour project on my hands. Nope. Accessories. Hey, Nutnfancy, you like running a bayonet on your shotguns? I think it's just a gee whiz thing, dude. You want the honest answer? There's your honest answer. Here's a picture of one on the 598 I mean, it's cool. The option's cool. It's really great for intimidation factor. And in a realistic application, that's about the only place I could see me needing one. On top of that roof of the dry cleaners, WROL. Hey, dude, look at that guy. He's got a freaking bayonet on his shotgun. Let's go somewhere else. That kind of thing. That's when I think, for me porting around, no. No, it's way too heavy. For intimidation factor, running a checkpoint, top of a roof, yeah, I could see happening. Yeah, what other accessories do you need? We've talked about it. They come pretty much turnkey. There's all kinds of stuff you can put, crap you can put on your shotgun. Maybe it makes it look cool. Does it add to your effectiveness? No. You might run a barrel shield, but dude, I mean, they get hot, but wear gloves. I mean, wear some of those, the mechanics or the pig gloves, and you'll protect your hands. That's just what I do. Why carry around 3 ounces of metal that you don't need? Well, I want it to look cool. Okay, second kind of cool. I get it. Guys do that with their weapons. I'm like, hey man, I want second kind of cool. It looks cool. Okay. Practically, it doesn't do crap for you. I would run a light on it though. I think a light is huge, especially in a home defense philosophy of use. I did not test this, mounting it here. There may be some things that may surprise you. Because when you mount a 4 to 5 ounce light on this, you may find that it tweaks in the mount slips. I can't tell you how many times I've mounted lights on shotguns, and with the recoil these shotguns have, been very dismayed to find out that mount is not holding securely. I have to really crank it down on the mag tube, the barrel. Finally, I get satisfaction. I think we've discussed some of that in previous years. Accessories. Maybe a single point sling, done. Let's go back to simplicity on the pump action shotgun. That's one of its selling points, right? To me it is. It's simple. I don't need a bunch of crap. I don't need magazines. I need extra pistons, which are all expensive and require a place to store. And by the way, don't lose them. Didn't talk about the trigger, by the way. Let's pull it right now. It's actually pretty good, if I remember right. Safety off. I love the trigger scale, by the way. 10 out of 10. Good job, Lyman. I've used it in a lot of reviews by now. I'd say probably 7.5. Oh, called it. A little bit of take up, very shotgun-like. Imagine that. Would you replace it? Absolutely not. I usually don't do trigger work on shotguns. Why? They're a close range weapon. 25 yards practically is where you want to be with it. Yeah, I can shoot out to 50. I don't recommend it. Not with buckshot. Heck no. You got, first off, if the bad guy's that far away, you need to run. Honestly, I don't care what situation is, unless you know this is going to go down. You're a police officer. You're on a team. This guy has a gun in his hand. He's going to kill someone else. Those types of situations where lethal force is justified according to the law. Maybe a police officer, a team member, or maybe a civilian. In certain circumstances, maybe. Generally, I would say you're better off running away with your tactical shotgun. Just book it. If you had to, though, you could push it out. I would say 50 yards with a slug. Maybe, just maybe, if you put in, in certain shotguns, not these, but ones you can change the chokes on, test them, patterns tight. It's just, that's one reason why departments have kind of started integrating tactical carbines, because they're precision weapons. There's been a lot of instances where a stray pellet has hit an innocent bystander.
So nice.
Oh, it's a mess, man. And it's sad. People get hurt that should not have ever gotten hurt. I think you've heard that. Wrapping it up. Recommended. Absolutely. Didn't go really heavy on POU. Talked about the WRL, shot protection. It's a great vehicle gun, home defense. I told you I use one, not this one, but a Winchester 1300. Defends my house, and it feels good, dude. I've had situations like where I've heard something. I'm like, when I'm holding that Winchester 1300, or for the in this instance, a Mossberg 500, 590, full of buckshot, I have my light on it, it feels good. I'm happy. I was like, yeah, I can pretty much handle whatever comes through that door. Pretty much. You know what I'm saying. Competition, by the way, I didn't really talk about that. I don't really follow competition that well. What they're using, I know SLPs are popular. Mossberg 930s are running good. Berettas, pump action shotguns. I think they're fast. You know, if in the hands of a skilled operator, they're pretty fast. Downside is you need 2 hands. You get injured in one of the hands, that's an advantage of an auto tactical shotgun. Said that in the SLP review. You can load it, you can shoot it with 1 hand. Not fast, but it can be done. Last but not least, hunting. We kind of briefly mentioned that with the turkey episode. This is a Nutnfancy project. I'm still a huge fan of the pump action combat/tactical shotgun. Simplicity, value, durability, usually reliability, and with these Mossbergs, the 590 and the 500, equipped with a Magpul SGA, MOE forends, gun falling off table, standard. Huge wins, man. Highly, highly recommended. If you don't have one, look at it. Nutnfancy.